pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sean is busy doing water stuff, so he's not going to be here tonight. And we have a short agenda and an update because of last week's snow. We did the agenda early. Now we got our extras. And I didn't have much to report except I had a EGAT meeting last week, and that was it. Councilor Paul.
So we just met at the attorney's office with Edith and Tarek. Yep.
Proper negotiation.
Property negotiations, yeah.
That's all I have.
Neil?
That's exactly what I had.
We were
Met with Attorney Johnson and went over some options and what could happen on the development.
And Tarek? Well, I guess I could. Ron, sad.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, PFAS, that we had talked about a number of times, the sampling for that, we did connect today here. I don't have word when the next round will be. Department of Health, the annual survey will be done tomorrow. So we'll be here. I'm not sure which council members know, but we did have a little incident in this building here. The roof was leaking. So that will probably be taken care of early spring this summer, just in case anybody want to it. Reminding the residents, clean the sidewalks off. I know spring is near us, but we still have some go. Airport fuel, we did get a load in last week, so prices will be changed. In the parks, residents are reminded they can make reservations for the veterans shelter out there, and also we are working on the empty park shelter grant yet at the end of March. That is due. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for Ron? I just have one. When was the last time we fixed the road? It seems to me we did that not that long.
I believe it was about 12 years ago. Right, it should not have failed.
No, it wasn't that long ago. Okay. Clark? Go.
All right, not much going on, just the EDAP meeting as well as the property negotiation meeting. Those are the only two.
Okay, it doesn't look like anybody's here for our forum, so we will start with the consent agenda. We have minutes from our emailed meetings, liquor board, policies and procedures, public works, city council, joint planning, and property negotiations. And we have vouchers off the update. $204,042.47. And I believe that's it for the consent agenda. We'll need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second. Okay. Motion's been made and approved to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor? Aye. New business. All we have, starting off with, the fire department is the first three things.
That was on the update.
Oh, let's see that. Okay, the fire department has some surplus property.
Basically, I'm just looking to get approval to donate our original Iris that we got. It's a helmet Iris. Technology is out of date and it's not very practical to use. I believe it's still in operating condition. I was going through some paperwork with Linda last week, or 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and discovered that we still have this on our asset list. So I was hoping to donate it to the Haynesville Historical Society. But I have to declare it surplus. You have to approve it, and I believe Bill Spooner has to do an update or a draft of the policies.
I did my part,
It's done?
but it's not till then yet.
Okay.
I was gonna say, have you talked to anybody at the historical society about this?
No, not yet. I had to figure out how to do it.
Got it, okay. We have a board meeting Thursday.
You can bring it up to them.
I can. All right. Is there a motion to declare the Iris a surplus property? We have to do that first.
I'll make a motion to declare the Iris a surplus property.
I'll second.
Okay, so there's a motion by Neil, second by Megan, to declare the Iris surplus property. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we did that. Now, motion to donate the Iris to the Paisley Historical Society contingent upon the adoption of the ordinance, which we have the ordinance now. We haven't got it yet.
Yeah, it'll have to come to you, then it'll have to get posted and published, and then it'll come back for approval after it's been posted, so. And there's some other things, there's some other things that come with it, so you'll have to go through all that, but it's coming your way.
Okay. So do we have a motion to donate the obsolete Iris to the Painesville Historical Society?
I'll also make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded to donate the Iris to the Painesville Historical Society contingent upon the adoption of the ordinance for such. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that passed.
I have a quick question. If the Historical Society does not want the item, do we have to come back here and address the whole donation process, or is it still just declared surplus and
It's already declared surplus.
we can dispose of it?
So we have to decide how. Probably.
Well, if it's going to be donated, you have to decide who it's going to be donated to.
Right.
I mean, if you decide that no one wants it, and it's basically got no value, I mean, I think the city can still throw away stuff that's junk, but if you're going to try to sell it or donate it somewhere, the council has to approve the donation. It's got to be to a 501c3 corporation, and so you'd have to go through all of them.
I think Ron wanted it for $1.
I'm sure if you start an election.
How big is it?
It's just a helmet
Oh,
and a little side pouch and things like that.
we don't have another movement to use.
I guess if the historical doesn't want it, maybe Rachel would.
Possible.
For her.
I'll bring it back and work with Linda if for some reason the Historical Society.
I don't see
Well,
that.
before you throw it away.
Yeah.
Okay, did we vote on that? I think so.
Yes, on the donation.
Okay, because Andy asked after I. All right, Relief Association.
I'm just here to ask for a $5,000 municipal contribution again. I know it's a budgeted item and it's something we do every year. Just crossing our T's and dotting our I's.
Just the formality. Do we have a motion to give the 5,000 municipal contribution to the Fire Department Relief Association? Is that budgeted items?
I'll make a motion to approve the municipal contribution of $5,000 to Painesville Fire Department Relief Association.
I'll second.
Yeah, you were trying. That's okay.
No worries, Paul.
Okay, motion to approve the contribution of 5,000 by Paul and seconded by Megan. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's good.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I'm not this heavy-handed here. Okay, and then the other is from the raffle, correct, Chris?
Correct.
You got me minutes.
So I'm here today, I was the head of our annual dinner, and then also along with the dinner, coincide, we do our raffle sales. And then
The funds from that is paid by paid by the Legion to the city, and I'm asking for that $10,000 to be deposited to the fire department. And I do believe the city has received a check that was for $10,000 and was earmarked for the fire department for the raffle tickets being sold. We've always done this in the past.
Do we get the money? From the Legion?
I haven't seen the check. Maybe Belinda got it.
Belinda got it, it's been,
Okay. She just keeps tabs on all that money stuff.
And Legion's been paid for facilitating the,
Correct. So the total dollar value start at $20,000. The Legion gets $2,000. They do the advertisement, they purchase the tickets, and then $8,000 are given out cash prizes, and then we receive the $10,000 is what our profit is. So yes, the Legion is paid in the beginning.
well, with that, I'll make the motion for the city to accept 10,000 from the American Legion on behalf of the fire department and forward the donation of 10,000 onto the Fire Relief Association from their raffle ticket fundraiser.
I'll second.
Second. Okay, motion is made by Neil, seconded by Megan to accept the donation of $10,000 from the Legion on behalf of the fire department and forward the donation of $10,000 on the Fire Relief Association from their raffle ticket. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Back to Public Works, so buy some more lights.
Yes, okay, thank you. Holiday lighting, currently we have 63 units and 63 different lights out there, 14 of which are still back, purchased in the early 90s. All the rest are all the newer LED bulbs. I guess they're pretty well seen or better days, so we would like to replace those 14 units. It gives a list of 3 different companies here: Northern Lights, Holiday Outdoor Lighting, or Decor, and Display Sales. And the low cost is obviously the 6513 from Display Sales. The only thing about this here, they are all going to be the same unit. However, we can take these here units and disperse them and mix them up with the existing ones we have. So you won't see the same light going down the street. Funds for this, we would recommend to take them out of the street CIP fund.
And just one comment for, as far as the old lights, have some discussion for right around Veterans Day.
Yes.
Getting banners of the 8x10 photo that the veterans get when they enter boot camp or whatever, and just have their name and what branch they served in. I've seen a lot of graduation little banners put on different towns. Maybe we could do something like that with Veterans Day. I'm just asking if we could take those 14 lights and have them brought up to the working session and maybe discuss this. I talked this over with Jeff Thompson, and he says he would follow what we do, and that he would like to take some initiative on us of getting the photos for anyone who served in the armed forces, just for Veterans Day.
So you would like these donated to the Legion for that purpose?
No, let's just wait till we have a working session coming up and decide then.
Okay.
So that everything was declared surplus property. That's
Sure, that's fine with me.
Well, did we have trouble getting bids for the, are these the old steel ones?
Yes.
They're not,
No, they're not in the best of shape.
did we finally got rid of all that we have?
Well, there's 14 more to go yet. And then we're done.
These are the last 14?
Correct.
Okay. And they were getting, pretty bad. I don't know how they would work with pictures pictures and banners on it because they're snowflakes in the metal.
All they need is the metal and something to hang off of. I haven't, I can't recall a picture or what they look like, but it's just something to discuss down the road to see if it's possible. Instead of, moving forward on this and finding out it's a good deal, then we have to buy certain hardware for it when we could possibly use this.
No, I would agree. I mean, at best, we're gonna get $5 each for them. So we're gonna waste more time advertising than we are what we
Yeah.
get.
Okay, well, we can buy the new ones anyway. So
Yeah.
our first motion is to approve the quote from Display Sales. I noticed the difference is they only have one style we're buying, where the other one was like 3 different choices or something.
Correct.
Is there a motion to do such?
I'll move to approve the quote from Display Sales in the amount of $6,513 for 14 holiday lights with funds to come from Street CIP Fund.
Second.
Okay, the motion's been made by Megan, seconded by Neil to approve the quote from Display Sales for the amount of $6,513 for 14 holiday lights with funds from the Street CIP Fund. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're gonna hold off on just declaring these surplus property.
Yeah.
Is that the wish? Okay. And we have a hangar lease.
Yes, we do have a hangar lease in front of us. The only thing different on this one here, if you look in section number 4, this tenant has plans to insulate this here hangar. So he will have to put a plan together and bring it forward to the building inspector and have him approve it. That is the way it is proposed to go as of right now. Other than that, it is identical to all the other hangar leases.
Do any other hangars have insulation?
No, this will be the first, and once this one's through, I am quite certain that there will be more down the road.
I bet they will.
Yes.
There's no heat in them hangars, is there?
Currently, there is not, no. So we are looking at bringing natural gas out there. As if, if there's 3 or 4 or 5, we don't want that many tanks sitting outside a building either.
No. And then they could just put their own units in there.
Because that'll be the next thing, if you're gonna insulate them, you probably want to heat them.
Absolutely, don't want to eat them.
Okay,
Well, I'll make the motion to approve the key hangar lease agreement between City of Painesville and RMB for hangar number 31.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion was made by Neil, seconded by Megan to approve the T-hangar agreement between the City of Painesville and RMB for hangar number 31. Any more discussion or questions or not? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that carried. Then off our update, we have to set a special city council working session like this week. Soon.
Yes.
Sean has asked us to have a special meeting. And the dates are on our update. Thursday, 10 or 1, Friday, 11 noon or 1, and Monday at 2.
Friday's not gonna work. For Neil or I.
You guys are just busy guys. Thursday would work. Yeah.
So this will replace our meeting that was on the other,
No, this is a special.
Just for the email.
Just for the
we sent.
email that Sean sent out.
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
so we still have to pick a date on the other one?
Yes, this is just a short meeting to.
Well, any 3 are okay with me.
Oh,
I can do 10 on
Thursday?
Thursday. Yep, or, okay, yeah, 10 on Thursday.
Tenant, okay, can we get a motion for that? to set a special city council session for Thursday, March 2nd at 10 a.m.
I'll move to set the special city council meeting retreat, no, yes, retreat, no?
No?
Okay, working session. It's Monday. On Thursday, March 2nd at 10 a.m.
We should also put where in there.
It'll be here.
We'd be here, okay.
Here in the chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday wouldn't work for me also.
I think. Confirm.
You seconded, right? Ian?
Yep, second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we've set the special council, city council working session for Thursday, 10 a.m., March 2nd. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll be here at City Hall. Okay, we're done with you. Old business. The retreat dates.
It's far enough away that I think pretty much all of them work for me.
April 11th, I'm halfway tied up.
I can't do the 13th or the 25th.
I think the 13th is off. Yeah, the 13th is off for me too.
For my schedule, the earlier the better.
I was just thinking the 5th or 6th.
That would work either way.
It's just a week later than what we were doing. We're doing Wednesday, it's just the next
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Was Sean good on all these?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5th or 6th is fine with me.
Okay. How about you, Tar? Works.
Yeah.
Works. All right. Then we will, I'll make a motion, just set the motion to have it, our retreat Wednesday, April 5th. 9 to 4, as it was planned before.
9 to 4,
Yep.
and that's at the historical.
Yep. Yeah.
The new rule will be ready?
They're painting this week.
Oh, okay, good.
We'll feel fancy.
It's in there. Just have to get the carpet down. Yep. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I made the motion, Megan seconded to have a retreat on April 5th, Wednesday, from 9 to 4. At Mason Crystal. All those in favor?
Aye.
We have that. Last on our agenda, can you believe it?
I'm making time, look at that.
See you being sharp about taking. Yeah, well, you know, we didn't have shop talk at all. All right, the trip we have before us from from our agenda for the visit and the flight information.
Yeah, I reached out to the company to ask them to confirm some dates for us based on our last discussion. And they're waiting to hear back from a couple other cities. So it turns out that they are looking to have a couple of other cities on the trip as well. So now the dates that you have before you, which is from the 26th of March to the 1st of April, those dates are confirmed now. And the agenda as outlined is also confirmed. So he was asking me how many people were going to be going from our side. I said 4 based on our last discussion. I checked in with Bruce, who declined, and then of course we said our alternate would be Megan. And then I also contacted, based on our last meeting, or tried to look at trip costs, and I asked Paul to help with it because when I was looking, I was getting some pretty crazy high prices. So Paul was able to find the lowest prices, of which he is presenting a couple of options here that you see before you. So that's where we are with that, and now we just need to make a decision here so we can proceed, otherwise these numbers will change.
I've talked to a couple people too, and from what I've heard, or what I've been told, is, and because of the cost of this trip, I feel that only 3 need to go. Two from the city and 1 one for the engineers. And that way we're only paying for two to go. And that way, I mean, and plus we have a council meeting that week, and we could be really short. If anybody would be sick or something, couldn't have one. So that's my opinion. It's up to the rest to choose, but I still.
I kind of thought it's, if additional people wanted to go and paid like half, I think that could be acceptable.
Yeah.
And I'm still on the fence. I don't, when do we have to decide?
Pretty much now for a flight.
So, just to give you guys an idea on flights tonight, and
We tried.
you know, realistically, Tarek and I looked at this back last week. I pulled up some numbers, looked at some numbers 2 weeks ago. We could have gotten you guys flights for about a little over $700. Now they're pushing right around that $1,000 mark. So to continue to push it out, I mean, I'm just telling you what I see as far as the trends. You could see them drop, but don't expect it. More likely, you're going to see the costs continue to go up, especially this close in. As it gets closer and you get inside that, 30-day window, costs keep going up.
Everything I looked at was more than this anyway.
So it is one of those things that, there are some different options out there. Definitively tonight, I would tell you, you probably need to decide who's going to go and give Tarek a price range. And then, between him and I, we can figure out exactly what the best flights are. The cheapest flights that are out there are not the best flights. They're short connections, multiple layovers that just lend themselves to travel issues, especially coming out of Minnesota. So, these are within a few dollars of what the cheapest flights are currently. There's a couple others that are maybe a little bit more acceptable, that are like $5 or $10 more than what's on that sheet, so.
Do we have any idea what the lodging?
That's what I was just gonna say, who's taking care of the hotel?
They are making the arrangements for us, but of course we have to pay it.
Yeah.
The prices we looked at were around the $200 mark.
Yeah, so Tarek and I looked at some different options. As you'll notice on the flights we've given you, they're outside of the schedule. We're looking at anywhere between probably $1,300 plus per ticket if we stick with the times that they have.
Oh.
Yes.
So the best pricing, really is the Delta flights. The best value that's there is those Delta flights that have them going into Amsterdam and having to overnight in Amsterdam and then coming home the next day. So I believe when we looked at some of those costs, you're probably in that 250 range for a hotel room in Amsterdam. Beyond, well, we didn't look at the cost for the hotels that they have in
Well, we looked at
Denver.
the one day recommended, and it was in the around 200 range.
Oh, yeah. Generally, I think you'll see that.
We could make Tarek and Sean share a room. No,
Well, if a couple of other members, I'm not gonna name, didn't want to share a room. I'm not looking at anybody in particular here.
I have my reasons.
I'm not looking at anybody in particular.
I'll sleep on the porch.
Well, in my opinion on this, this is going to be a big deal for the city. And I think to limit what we can send over there is not going to hurt, nor is not going to help, but I think that the more information that we pulled off of Nature Energy, and having the firsthand tour and knowledge of what's going on, I would suggest that we have 3 from the city, and then with Bill and Meg, whoever's going, if you are, whoever, okay. So the city would be on for 3 of us. And, a lot of the other departments have their training and things that are worked in the budget. This is one that wasn't really worked in the budget, but I think it's rather important that we find out what's going on, see if this is actually going to fit what's happening over here, and also just getting more information, so.
Well, what I wanted to add also is, I did speak with the Stearns County appraiser, give them an idea of what we can expect in terms of tax, because they're not asking for TIF.
I was going to ask you that.
And based on the dollar amount of investment that Nature Energy gave me, we're looking at somewhere close to $1 million in tax revenue per year. But of course, they said this can change. It depends on, a lot of building costs, a lot of other things. But the point being, and even the appraiser said, she said, don't stick me to this number because this is not a firm number. Just know for sure that this is going to be a high dollar amount.
Then part of that would also be county and school.
No, that's different.
Well, that's just city.
Altogether, it's about $3 million a year in tax.
Yeah.
Well, then I think we should have a little council when one of those two are coming.
What about our security detail?
Your travel advisor should make sure you get there. And,
Yeah.
get around okay.
Personally.
So, yeah, they just said that it will be significant.
And then, this is even more of a reason why I don't think we should let this slip through our fingers.
And I agree with Paul that we should send 3. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. If we're looking at a tax for the city between roughly $800,000 and $1 million, I think, $1,000 for a plane ticket is a kind of a drop in the bucket. And I just, it said in the last minutes, it was pretty clearly stated that if Bruce wasn't going to go, then I was the alternate. And I actually sat down with Bruce and we talked after he had decided not to go, and there were a lot of things that I knew about this project and about biogas as a whole that he didn't. So I don't know why we're willing to send Ron and we're willing to send Bruce, but not me. I mean, Ron, yeah, you probably know. But so far, I've only had time to read 4 studies on biogas because I like to do 2 pro, 2 con, but I've got, time. A list of almost 200 questions in growing, and the projected long-term data for the future farming in our area, as well as the long-term projection for what the infrastructure wear and tear will look like to have the trucks out there. And on the EDAP board and the environmental board, I think both of those are going to want a first-hand account. If we only want to send 3, we only want to send 3, but frankly, I don't know why I'm not a better choice than some people, so. If it comes down to it, and like Neil was saying, I should pay half, then that's what I'll do, but, I'd rather not. But if necessary, that's.
Well, and I think we have to make it perfectly clear that we're not going to pay it per diem for 7 days.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't just.
Of course not.
I think we should pay some because it is related, so.
It is what it is.
I said 50/50.
Yeah, I didn't think it.
Looking at the budget, we land this and get the money, that's beautiful, it's gonna help our
Well,
budget.
it's gonna be 2 years from now before we get it.
But if we don't get it, we got all this expense that we didn't budget for.
And I think another set of eyes and ideas are really going to help.
But if we do that idea of looking and then we decide, oh yeah, sure, come, and then something disastrous happens and we're out way more money than that.
Well, and we're planning to take the money out of EDAP, so the money is not coming out of our budget, which will be helpful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point, Gina.
Mm-hmm. And we told Jesper that we were sending 4 and he didn't want to. I think as far as, he was waiting to get more cities together, so I don't think we want to send too few either.
Yeah, they have the firm numbers.
Yes.
Nature doesn't care how many come.
If we want to increase it beyond the 4 that I told them, I'll have to call and check, but, yeah.
They're expecting 4.
Because they are trying to, like I said.
They got other cities, and the bus only holds 25 people, you can't have 28.
Yeah, plus they said they're hoping that somebody from the MPCA goes as well, so that'll be great for us to be there with them.
Well, I think the faster we move on this, the more likely we're going to be towards the front runner of their projects. Whereas, if Benson goes through and Painesville goes through and their success, there's going to be a lot of other areas with agronomy as their main economic force that are gonna be looking into this. Is every farmer that I've talked to has been well over 75. Not a single one that has been opposed to this.
Well, I think.
Of course.
Excuse me, Paul.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think the decision's been, the consensus is that now what I'm getting, that will be foregoing? Tarek, Sean, Megan, and Chuck.
And is it gonna be you, Chuck, or somebody else?
It'll probably more likely be another guy, one of our guys, Paul.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I met Paul.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you guys will have to work out the travel arrangements.
Okay.
And then we'll still
There's a
have,
leeway to work with a number here because it might change.
So we need a motion to send the appointed people and amount towards the trip.
Yeah, give us a little flexibility in the number here.
Well, yeah, because it's nice. So, all right. Somebody want to make the motion, or we make the motion?
you know, I'll make a motion, some kind of mounting, well, with this, I'm just trying to figure out, motion to send 3 representatives from the city of Painesville to the Nature Energy visit in regards to biogas plant.
Be a little more specific.
I'm trying to be, but words just aren't coming right
You
now.
said 3 from the city, but we were talking 4.
Yeah.
3 from the council and an engineer.
Well, I wasn't counting Chuck in.
Engineer.
Okay, sorry,
They're not
Chuck.
wrong, they're not wrong.
Okay, then we'll make that 4, sorry, Chuck.
Well, 3 from the city plus.
How about we just say everybody's name and make it easier?
Yeah.
Okay. And option 1 was the more preferred.
Two.
I think
It
2.
it would be 2, but there's a couple other options out there that come in at like $1,008 that generally are a little bit better, potentially. That's why, you know, when we talk about this, one like a range.
Best price.
A range.
Yeah, I would, I would say if you guys can authorize up to, like, say $1,100, I mean, we're not gonna be like, we want the most expensive flight, that's not the case.
No.
It's just some flexibility in case pricing shifts
Should we
between
not
now and.
have a range, not just for the air, but for the hotel and stuff too?
You can, the problem is we don't know what Nature Energy maybe has for a negotiated rate
Right.
with the hotels that they're
Okay, let's
going
do the
to, so.
Flight.
I would say,
Let 'em
if you
know.
give us a price for flights, and then authorize, whatever the costs are going to be for the hotels.
Well, we'll have another meeting before
So-
that.
And I think the price of the flights are gonna fluctuate more than the price of the hotels.
Right.
Oh, yes.
So we should authorize something for the flights. And then if we need to come back for the motels or hotels, then we can do that also.
Yep. Like I said, we need again. Okay.
Did you get all that, Gene?
Yep, I did. I did. I got a motion to send 3 from the city plus the engineer, Tarek, Sean, and Megan, engineer from Bolton and Mink, of their choosing, and to spend up to $1,100 per person for flights.
Should we also put per diem in there? Should we decide that now?
We don't do that,
We can do that later. Okay, let's do it later then.
because we'll have to come up with more money.
Okay.
Hotels, yeah.
With funds to come out of EDAP?
With funds to come out of EDA, yes, thank you. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Hopefully, Kristen's got this. All those in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Neil's still thinking? All right. that's it for the business of the night.
Can I ask that everybody get me names and dates of birth by tomorrow morning, and then Tarek and I can look at options? Because that's all we'll need to secure any flights.
Yeah, you just need the date, names and birthdays.
As they would be on their passport. So if someone can reach out to Sean,
I will.
I was gonna say just text him.
I just don't want to misspell his name.
His birthday is. Okay, we have our, what do we have on the informational? Calendars for March, April, and that's it. According to this, it says we have investments, but it's not on my computer. They're online. With that, we are adjourned.